All right, so just make sure that we focus on our breath. So go ahead and lie back on your back. And just let yourself breathe a full breath in and a full breath out. Oh, we're going to just let our body kind of sink into the floor, let our breath fill our lungs. Remember, if you were with us last week, Mr. Emmons talked about your diaphragm and how you really want it. Your diaphragm sits right basically at the base of your ribs, and we want that to pull down to fill our lungs up. A lot of us breathe and our shoulders come up towards our ears. We want to keep our shoulders away from our ears and let our body, let our breath fill our body instead of our body or our breath closing off our shoulders towards our ears. So let your breath fill your body, pull the diaphragm down. You should see your belly come up. You should see your belly come down. If you were to put one hand on your belly while you breathe, you should feel it move. From here, let's take the soles of our feet. We're going to bring them together. Just kind of we're in a reclined butterfly posture. And let's take one hand up to our chest and one hand to our belly. And we want to breathe in between those two hands as we breathe. So full breath in and full breath out. Should feel that hand on your belly moving up and down with each breath that you take. From here, let's extend our legs. We're going to take our right knee and hug our right knee into our chest. We're going to inhale. And on the exhale, let's take the right knee and let it go over to the left side of our body for a nice lying twist. Try to keep both shoulder blades down on the floor. So there's a limit to how far we can twist for most of us. Let your body decide what's right for you. And breathe. Nice full breath in. With your exhale, think about finding new space. So not being in the exact same space you were in with the last breath, but with each breath, finding a little bit different space to be in with that body that you have. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to hug both knees into our chest. Let's squeeze tightly into a small ball, using our abs to contract, and then exhale, release. We're going to hold on to that left knee, let the right leg extend. Inhale here. On our exhale, let's go ahead and let the left leg fall over to the right side of the body. Try to keep both of our shoulder blades on the floor as we twist. Let's go ahead and hug both knees back into our chest. We're going to make ourselves a nice little ball. We're going to roll tip to tail here. So we're going to go from the base of our spine down to our tail as we roll forward and back. Now, as we come up, we're going to balance in boat. Full breath in. Full breath out. We're going to let ourselves roll again. Roll. Balance in boat. Full breath in. And breath out. Go one more time. Roll. Balance in boat. Full breath in. And full breath out. From here, we're going to let ourselves just stay in boat. We're letting our core kind of warm up. I want you to reach your right hand forward to find a little, that right shoulder should twist forward. If you're struggling, you can always put your feet down and just let yourself lean back. That works too. Nice full breath. This is where it gets tough, is when you start having a lot of tension. So breathe in and then breathe out. We're going to send the left arm forward. The right hand can come back behind if you want, or you can just keep that hand up. It's up to you what you want to do. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring our feet to the floor and let ourselves come forward on our hands and our knees. Nice neutral spine. We're in tabletop position. Our fingers are spread out on the floor. Our knees are right underneath our shoulders. Our wrists are underneath. Our knees would be underneath our hips, and our wrists would be under our shoulders. We're going to inhale. Lift the chin, lift the tailbone, and on the exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round that spine. You go ahead and flow with your own breath. Let your breath decide when you change from one pose to another. Don't let your body do the talking, but your breath do the talking here. Everybody's a little different on what a full breath is for them. Let's come to a neutral spine again. We're going to inhale here and exhale. Let's push back to child's pose. Think about pulling your shoulder blades down your back, extending your fingers out wide and having all parts of your fingers and palms touching the floor. Think about engaging your shoulder blades, pulling them down towards your pockets. And then let yourself breathe a full breath. From here, we're going to let ourselves come back up. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves up to down dog. So we're going to push one heel into the floor and then the other, pedaling those feet. And push the chest towards the thighs. From here, we're going to walk our feet forward on our mat. And we're in a forward fold. We're going to inhale and come all the way up, hands above our head. Exhale the hands to the sides. We're going to inhale, hands high. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we're coming up half lift. Now we're going to bend our right knee and we're going to send our left hand up high for a twist. Take your eyes and gaze up toward your upper hand, that left hand that's high. We're going to inhale here. On the exhale, we fold. We're gonna go to the opposite side. So right leg is gonna be straighter, left leg is gonna be bent more. We're gonna inhale. And on the exhale, that right hand reaches high. Inhale here, and on the exhale, let's come back to the full. Inhale, we're gonna come all the way up. Let's interlace the fingers above our head. Let's pull our shoulders down away from our ears, and we're lining up all of our joints. Our spine is aligned, our shoulders, our elbows, our wrists, our hips, our knees, and our ankles. Trying to get them all in pretty much one line. We're gonna inhale here. In the exhale, send the left hip out to the side, and the right, or the hands are gonna go over to the right side of your body. Inhale, come back to the top. The exhale, we go opposite side. So right hip pushes out to the right, hands go to the left. Inhale, we bring it back up. Exhale, opposite side. Let yourself flow with your own breath. Your breath will tell you when to move. Let's go one more time. Let's inhale, come back to center. On the exhale, let's let ourselves fold. Inhale, half lift. Let's flat back. On the exhale, let's bring our hands down, step back, and we're going to be in a plank. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Engage the core, pull the shoulders down in the back pockets. And just let yourself breathe that full breath. We're going to inhale one more. And on the exhale, let's drop our knees down. And we're going to let ourselves sink down towards the floor. We're going to inhale, push up. Exhale, let yourself come back to the floor. Inhale, push up. Be strong in your core in these baby cobras. You don't want to let your core go completely, so you're putting too much pressure on your low back. Exhale, lower. Go a couple more times. Inhale. Bring it up again. Exhale, lower. This time, let's inhale, push up, up dog. We come up on the tops of our feet. We squeeze our quads to pull those knees up off the mat. Then we exhale, we're gonna flip the toes, push back down dog. Let's let ourselves come back to forward and lower back down to the mat. Up dog, we're gonna inhale. Let's take the right foot and we're gonna step it over the top. And then we're gonna lift our hips. So my belly button faces the sky. My hips are lifted. Flip it back over. Lower back to up dog. And from here, let's take the left leg over the top. And lift the hips high. So my right hand is posted. My left hand is lifted. I'm trying to push my hips towards the ceiling as best I can. Inhale here, and on the exhale, let's flip it back. Let's lower down. Let's bring our hands to the mat, one hand on top of the other hand, and then let our head rest there for a second. From here, we're going to let our head rest on the mat, and we're going to bring our arms down by our sides. Our thumbs point away from our body, and we're going to do a little bit of a shoulder series here. So we're going to do the best we can with what we have, but you don't have to move a ton. You're trying to engage your shoulder blades in the back. So all you do is you're going to lift and lower. Think about keeping your shoulders away from your ears. And lift and lower. So let our hands go into a W position. So our elbows are down, but our hands are up. Same thing, pull the shoulder blades down. This time we're going to do a W. So all we're going to do is lift and lower. Same thing, we just change our posture just a bit. Let's let ourselves relax. This time we're going to bring our arms out to the sides, and I'm actually going to change my head position and just rest on my chin now. It's up to you if you want to be on your forehead or your chin. It kind of depends where you want to be. But from here, it's the same thing. I'm going to squeeze my shoulders down away from my ears. As my hands get higher, my shoulders like to come up by my ears. Try to keep your hands low, or your shoulders low, I should say, away from your ears. You're going to lift and lower in this T position. And then one more we're going to go to. This is you can make it a Y or an I. If you make it an I, your hands are going to go straight above your head. Kind of out of space where I'm at. I guess I can move. So you can go above your head or just make your hands a little wider. They're still above your head. Same thing, pull your shoulders away from your ears and then lift and lower. All right, from here, we're going to push ourselves up into an upward dog. And then we're going to take our right hand and reach it up high towards the sky. On the exhale, let's send the right hand through and under. Threading the needle, that's what we're doing here. We're threading the needle. You find a twist, you should probably feel a stretch in those muscles you were just working. right back between your spine and your shoulder blade. Let's bring everything back to center. Let's take that left hand now. Reach the left hand up high towards the sky. On the exhale, let's bring the left hand underneath the right shoulder. Find that stretch in that shoulder blade. Bring everything back to center. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the hips up high. The exhale, come forward, lower chaturanga. Inhale, push up dog. Exhale, flip the toes, back to downward dog. Walk or hop the feet forward, forward fold. You're going to inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Inhale, bring the hands high again. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we lift up halfway. Exhale, the hands come to the mat. Step back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, push up dog. Exhale, flip the toes, push back, down dog. Inhale here, and on the exhale, hop or walk the feet forward, forward fold. We're going to inhale, bring ourselves all the way up. Exhale, hands to the sides. Inhale. The exhale, we fold. Inhale, half lift. The exhale, the hands come to the mat, step back plank, and one more flow through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, flip. Push back, down dog. We're going to inhale here on the exhale. Walk or hop the feet forward, forward fold. Now from here, I want you to drop your hips, lift your chin, lift your chest. We're going to inhale the hands up high. The knees are bent, the hips are bent. On the exhale, we're going to send the arms back and try to come up onto let's bring our feet apart a little bit and come up onto our toes. On the inhale, we drop the heels and lift the hands high. On the exhale, send the hands back and come up onto the toes. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, hands and toes. Inhale up. And exhale. Let's inhale, come to a stand. Exhale, we're going to let ourselves fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or hop those feet back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, push up dog. Exhale, push back, down dog. Now we're going to take our right leg and lift it up high to the sky. On the exhale, let's bring the right foot through. We're going to drop the left heel, and we're going to come up. Our hips face forward. Let's inhale, bring our hands up high, and then let's open. So we're opening through the front body. From here, I want you to take your hands, and this is going to be a choice you need to make. Some of you, you're probably going to want to use your hands to help you. So decide what you want to do, and I'll kind of show you both options. But take your hands back behind your body if you want, and interlace your fingers. If you can't do that, grab your opposite hand. You can do this. So you can have my elbows bent. So if I'm too stiff to do it with my elbows straight, I can have my elbows bent and grab my opposite wrist. I'm going to inhale here. On the exhale, I'm going to let myself come forward. And this is where it's going to get kind of intense, right? So if you need to, put your hands down to help support your body a little bit. We're going to inhale, come back up. Opening our chest to the sky. The exhale, we're going to fold. Some of us, you can let your hands kind of come up over your head for a chest opener if you want. Or you can bring your hands down to the floor too and make it not quite as intense. You're going to inhale all the way up. Open the chest. We'll go one more time. Exhale. We're opening the chest or folding forward. From here, we're going to take our toes and turn them out. We're going to support ourselves on our knees. We're going to inhale, lift our chest. On the exhale, we're going to let ourselves fold forward. So you can support yourself on your thighs, above your knees, or down below your knees. Or if you want, you can do a chest opener here. But you're in a straddle position. From here, we're going to turn ourselves back to the front. So we're going to actually pick up that front toe and turn the foot. And we're going to keep our hips facing the same direction we just were, so sideways. Warrior two. So we're going to bring one hand up high in front, one hand high in back. Press your front knee towards your pinky toe. We're going to inhale, bring the hands high. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Here we go, one more time. Inhale, hands come high. And exhale. From here, we're going to take the back foot and we're going to turn it forward. So we're in a crescent lunge. And if you want, you can come down. And actually, let's come down to the ground with that knee. So my left knee is down. My right knee is high. From here, I want to take my right hand onto my right knee. And if you can reach back and grab that foot. If you can't, that's okay. What I want you to focus on is, instead of having your foot, the top of your foot flat, put your toes on the floor and push your hip forward. That's what I want you to focus on if we can't grab our foot. If we can grab our foot, I want us to grab our foot in the same idea. Push your hip forward and try to keep your shoulders over your hips. Let's go ahead and release from there. We're going to let ourselves come back to a seated position. We're going to keep that right foot on the floor. We're going to take the left ankle and put it on the right knee. And from here, we're just going to scoot our body forward until we feel a stretch in our left hip. With your left foot, I also want you to take your left toes and pull them towards your left knee. So instead of pointing them, pull them back towards your left knee. Seated pigeon. Let's go ahead and release that, and we're going to let ourselves come back and around. Let's push ourselves up into a plank. We're going to inhale here. On the exhale, let's push back down dog. And we're going to kind of roll ourselves from plank to down dog. So we're going here, and then we're going to roll ourselves forward to a plank. Then our hips are going to come up, so our butt kind of leads the way on this one. Then our head is the last to follow. We're rolling from a plank back to a downward dog, and then back to a plank. Go one more time. Okay, now from here, let's take, let's see, we got to get our left foot up in the air. Then we're going to step our left foot forward. And I'm just for the sake of not having my butt shining in the camera, I'm going to go the other direction. So you guys don't have to switch directions. Your left foot's forward, your right foot's back. I'm going to interlace my fingers behind my back, lift my chest up high, opening through that front body. On the exhale, I'm going to let myself come forward. Take a full breath here. On the next inhale, we come back up, shine that chest. On the exhale, we're going to let ourselves fold again. Remember, if you are struggling, bring those hands down towards the floor to help you out. Inhale, shine. And exhale, forward. Hold it one more time. Full breath there. And inhale, shine. And exhale, fold. From here, we're going to let ourselves bring ourselves into a straddle position. We're going to stand on our mat in that straddle position. I want you to think about bending just at your hips. Try to be strong and straight through your trunk and your core. And the inhale here, and on the exhale, you can bring your hands right to your hips as you fold. And again, if you want to add in after you've folded forward, if you want to add in the chest opener, you can do that. That's a choice that you have. If this is getting intense, feel free to support yourself with your hands. If your hands don't touch the ground, feel free to put your hands on your shins or your thighs. We're going to take the left foot. We're going to pick up the toes, turn them forward. And we're going to come back into a warrior two. So my hips continue to face you guys. Inhale, flip the palms, lift the hands high. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, hands are high. Exhale, hands are down. One more time, inhale. And on the exhale, the hands come down. Okay, from here, we're going to pick up our right heel and we're going to turn it forward. We're going to drop the right knee to the mat. And again, this is where you're either going to grab your foot or not, but either way, you're trying to push your hip forward and be upright with your body. If you can, go ahead and grab that foot.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
All right, Marie, you have a good day. Everybody else, go ahead and let go of that leg. From there, we're going to let ourselves come back. I kind of forgot what we were doing next. But my left leg is going to stay on, my left foot will stay on the floor. My right heel is going to come up to my knee. We're going to try and sit tall, pull those right toes back towards your right knee in the seated pigeon. All right, let's go ahead and release out of that. Let's come to our hands on our knees. And then we're going to push ourselves back to child's pose. From here, we're going to let ourselves come forward and lower into a baby cobra. So we're now going to wave, those hips are going to go back and forward. We're going to go straight into from child's pose to baby cobra. All right, let's let ourselves come back up. Let's make sure that our knees are right underneath our hips. They're not wide or narrow. They're right underneath. And then we're going to let ourselves stand. Let's take our hands to our low back. Our fingers are going to point down towards the floor. Our elbows are really coming back and down. And we're going to inhale. With the inhale, we're going to shine our chest towards the ceiling like somebody's pulling on our shirt. And then we're going to push those hips forward and let ourselves open in the front of our body. At some point, our head kind of starts to move and fall backwards. That's okay. You're going to feel a stretch in your neck. And if you want, you can move your hands down towards your heels in the same pose. If you're feeling a lot of pressure in your low back, you don't want to climb down to your heels. You want to keep your hands on that low back. That'll help with the pressure there. The inhale here, and on the exhale, let's go ahead and bring ourselves back up. We're going to let ourselves come down, and we're going to sit on those heels. If you can. If you can't, you can always just be in an extended position. That works too. From here, we're going to let ourselves crawl forward and push back into child's pose. Then we're going to let ourselves push back, lift our hips, downward dog. We're going to walk our feet forward on our mat, come into a seated position. Our hands are going to come up. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're rounding the spine down. Nice and slow, letting ourselves be controlled in our descent towards our mat. And from here, we're going to bring our heels up so that our middle fingers will touch our heels. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, let's go ahead and lift the hips up high. This time, let's go ahead and lower. If you want, you can interlace your fingers underneath and pull your shoulder blades down and back for a little bit of a chest opener. So this time when you lift your hips, if you want, interlace your fingers, and pull, you kind of walk your shoulders down towards your heels just a bit, and lift those hips up high. Okay, last thing we're gonna try here, and then we're gonna get into a relaxation. A little shoulder stand if you want. If not, just stick with the hip bridge that we just did. But one thing I want to caution you is don't turn your head when your hips get up in the air, okay? Keep your head focused straight up at the ceiling, wherever you're at. So we're gonna lift our feet towards the sky and then let ourselves kind of roll up. We're gonna use our hands to support our lower body. And you can your goal is really not to have your feet hanging over your head, because the farther over your head they are, the more pressure you're putting on your neck. So we really want to try to get our feet stacked on top of our shoulders, not way past our head. And you know, everybody's bridge is going to look different. Some people will be a lot lower, and that's fine. That works too. So wherever it works for you. These inverted positions are some of the best positions that you can be in yoga, just because it takes blood that sits in your legs and it moves it throughout your body. It kind of refreshes your whole circulatory system, and it gets more blood flowing to your head. And in doing so, also brings more oxygen to your brain, which, as you may or may not know, oxygen is necessary for you, your brain to function at a high capacity. So having new and better oxygen flow is not a bad thing. From here, we're going to let ourselves roll back down to the mat. Let's take our palms and flip them up towards the sky. Let's let our legs flop out to the side. And then let's revisit the idea of a full breath and pulling that diaphragm down into your body, into your belly. I want you to notice your body and how it feels right now. I want you to be intentional about how you allow yourself to relax on your mat or the floor space that you're on. Bring focus to your breath. Let yourself melt into your mat. If your mind wanders, I want you to intentionally bring that mind back to focusing on your breath. Allow yourself to be here. Allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to be focused in the moment that you are in. It is the only moment you can affect. Allow all the muscles in your body to relax, including the muscles of your face. Think of yourself as having released every muscle in your body, allowing it to open and just be. You notice tension in your body. I want you to focus your energy in that area and intentionally allow that muscle that's holding the tension to release. From here, we're going to go ahead and start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Let's inhale. The exhale, let's take our hands above our head and extend our toes and our fingers as far away from each other as possible. Full body stretch. We're going to inhale here, and on the exhale, let's hug our knees into our chest. From here, let's let ourselves come up into a seated position in our space. Let's go ahead and pull our shoulders down. Let's let our shoulders stack over top of our hips. We're going to go ahead and inhale, bring our hands up above our head. And exhale, hands to the sides. Let's go one more big inhale for the day. Let's press our palms, bring them down in front of our heart center. May your Thursday be wonderful for you. Thank you for joining us today. And namaste. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.